everyone, welcome back to Susan Dawn at Spiritual Connections. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union Energy Update. Over the past couple of weeks, we have been channeling some higher level ascension energies when it comes to these connections, when it comes to even your soul path journey. What I want to do today is take a closer look at the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the union as a whole, and even how you're relating to each other. Now, you can take this with regards to a physical connection or physical relationship. You can also take this for how it resonates with your own inner masculine, your own inner feminine, and your own inner union as a whole as well. Because remember, as within, so without, what you create within yourself is what's reflected in your outside world. So always remember that the masculine that we're channeling for can resonate for your inner masculine as well. The feminine that we're channeling for can resonate for your inner feminine as well. It could also help you understand, have compassion for your counterpart, your physical person, and what they might be experiencing on their ascension journey as well. So we're going to do a deeper dive into connection energies today. That's always my intention when we do these readings, but Spirit just keeps bringing in higher level ascension energies, embodiment energies, because that's where we are on the journey. That's where we are in our spiritual evolution now. It's about that embodiment, that sacred embodiment. It's about this journey home to ourselves. And your counterpart is the greatest reflection of that unconditional love that you house within yourselves. Your counterpart is showing you that unconditional love that you have within yourself that you might not have been able to recognize in the past because of programming, because of beliefs, because of trauma or wounding, or whatever it was that kept you from yourself. Your counterpart is your greatest mirror. And your counterpart, I'm also hearing, it is your greatest love story. It just might not be the love story as we think a love story is. This love story is deeper than that. This love story is energetic first, and then you might have the romance and the relationship, etc. After that, after you understand the energetics of it. But it's still a love story. It's still a love story, and let it unfold, because that's when your journey becomes magical, when you allow it to unfold rather than thinking it has to be one way or the other. And something that we're really anchoring in and learning on the ascension journey is not to hold on to expectations and outcomes and it has to be this way. It's a very limited mindset. The universe is bigger than that. You are bigger than that. Soul is bigger than that, and your connection is bigger than that. And we have to allow ourselves to expand beyond what we think the journey is and what we think the journey itself needs to be, what we think life is and what we think life needs to be, what we think our connection is and what we think our connection needs to be. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have all of our desires. You are a creator of your universe. You're a creator of your story. But we have to release elements of that control. We have to release elements of that limited mindset, that limited perspective, and allow it to unfold, recognizing that we create the unfolding. But we have to allow ourselves to release any of that limited perspective, that limited mindset, and embrace the joy, the love, the presence, the peace of the unfolding. So we talk a lot about that in the last Sacred Union Energy Update, where I provided a lot of links for recent readings that might resonate with you. I also want to say that I've had a lot of you, clients and community members, who have reached out to me in the past several days, actually over the past week, sharing that you've gone through some major tower moments, some profound tower moments with your counterparts. And I want to say that what you're sharing, and I always thank you for the honor of sharing, of you sharing with me. It's an honor for me that you trust me in your journeys. What you've shared with me is very similar to something that I experienced and channeled about for a select group or a select segment when we channeled it back in March. But it looks like it might be resonating more with a greater, wider collective energy now. So I'll put that link in the description box, the channeling. I also posted it on the community tab if you want a direct link. It is something along the lines of towers create transcendence. Don't fear the tower moments. Tower moments are, you can look at it as initiations. You can look at it as, I don't want to say test, it's an initiation to see how far you've come and how are you embodying all of the teachings, all the lessons that you've learned along this journey, the new perspectives, the new mindsets. How have you shifted your beliefs? How have you shifted your energy, your frequency? That's what these towers are really coming in to show us. Their towers come in to show us the new, to break us through, right? And it creates upheaval because the upheaval are the old stories that are still replaying. And so allowing us to see where we are still attached to old stories and how we can create new ones. So don't fear the towers. Towers are challenges, they're obstacles, they're upheavals, and they can be painful, and we don't ever want to negate the human experience or the human expression. So allow yourself to feel everything that you need to feel, everything that you're feeling in the moment, but witness it, observe it. Don't attach to those feelings. Don't attach to those thoughts. Allow yourself to witness, allow yourself to observe, allow yourself to feel, cry, rage in healthy ways. Work through it, move your body to get the energy out of you. If you need to, nurture yourself, take care of yourself, nurture your inner child. If you feel like getting in bed and covering your head for 24 hours and just, kind of processing that way, do what you need to. You have your mechanisms, you have your skills, but don't sink into that energy. Don't stay there. That's what you learn along the ascension journey, is the faith in the overcoming of it. You have the power within you to shift out of that energy. And if you need to wallow in it, allow for that. But also know that you can shift the energy immediately. You can shift out of that energy. Be where you need to be. Do what you need to do. Your journey is yours. Trust yourself and trust your journey. Trust what it is that you need to do for you. Always trust your own intuition. Always trust your inner guidance. But also, or I should say, and allow yourself to move through it. Because again, these are initiations. So I also want to say, allow yourself to take very good care of yourself at this time. A lot of compassion, a lot of kindness, and a lot of presence, because many of you are moving through those processes of embodiment, and the process of embodiment can bring up some upheaval, can bring up some old stories. The old stories are just clearing so that you can anchor in the new codes, new beliefs, new understanding, new consciousness shifts. That's what we've been channeling for the past couple of weeks, and some of you might be hitting that point right now. So go back and check out those timeless readings from the past couple of weeks. See if they resonate with you right now. Maybe more so than when you first watched them, if you've already watched them. See how they're resonating with you, okay? If you need support, additional support, through my Kickstarter community launch, we have coaching calls, intuitive tarot sessions, and live tarot readings available with me. I'm only open to readings because I've been closed to readings this year. I'm only opening to readings for the Kickstarter at this time, so you can go ahead and check that out. And speaking of the Kickstarter, I want to say thank you guys so much. We fully funded in less than 8 hours. It is an incredible feat. I am so very happy and so very thankful for this community and for your support. I am so excited to bring the Unity Code to you. My new book, The Unity Code, is a comprehensive of everything that we teach here. So rather than me saying, go back to this link and see if you can find, the message here or the teaching here, rather than me, spending all of our time in our readings, reteaching everything or sharing everything that we've already taught and shared, I can just say, go to the book. And here's the book. Don't mind this. This is the proof copy. I wasn't able to get a regular copy in time, but this is the book. I'm so excited to share this with you. And so we have all of the diagrams that I have shared, all of the information that I have ever taught and shared is available in this book. I put it all in here, everything from our channeling. So this is a great reference if you guys are new to the journey, or if you want to go deeper on the journey, or if you just want to go back to the basics if you're having trouble, and if you want to go back to the basics and some of the stuff that we share here or teach here. It's an amazing reference, and you can go ahead and back the book The Kickstarter, you can look at it as a pre-order. That's the way I'm looking at it, as a way to have you guys be a part of the launch of the book. I have heavily discounted items, products, programs. I have a ton of digital bonuses and freebies I'm including. It's just my way of getting excited for the book, because I'm excited for the book, and giving back to the community. So you'll also get it months earlier. It's releasing officially in October, but you'll also get it months earlier if you back through the Kickstarter. So it's just a kind of a community-oriented launch, and I'm really happy that those of you who have already backed are a part of it, and if you'd like to be a part of it, thank you so much. Okay, let's get into the reading itself and see what is it that we need to know currently. We have been picking up that June energies are going to be big. It feels like an open doorway, and I'm especially getting that it's an open doorway for the Divine Masculine. We've been channeling that the Divine Masculines along the journey has had some turning points, has had some choice points for themselves. And a lot of Divine Masculines, physical counterparts, I want to say, have taken different routes, have taken kind of detours, but even those detours served a purpose, and we have to really understand that, especially as a divine feminine. We have to understand that divine masculine and the divine feminine are always working together. And when you consciously work together, that's when you experience that union, because you're not divided anymore. And I'm not talking about a physical separation, I'm talking about an energetic separation. You're not divided. You are consciously recognizing that you're in this connection together and that you are for each other, that you are helping each other to grow, helping each other to evolve, helping each other to heal, helping each other to ascend, helping each other to embody the highest parts of yourself, the highest version of yourself. And when you're consciously aware of that, you look at your journey through a different lens. You look at your journey through gratitude versus resentment, perhaps. You look at your journey through peace versus through pain. And you first experience that within your inner union, and then you experience that in a physical relationship within a conscious connection with each other. And what does that look like in conscious relationship? We go into that in the book as well. What does that conscious relationship look like? It looks like communication, building on that intimacy. And if there were fears of intimacy, if there were fears of commitment before, you work on that together, because you know that you and your counterpart share that unconditional love. You share that soul bond. You allow yourself to work on the healing and the growth together, not as a attack, not as a defense mechanism, not as a survival thing, but as a way to say, how are we going to continue to evolve? How are we going to continue to grow? And how can we do this together? That in and of itself is part of your mission. You might express your mission in different ways, in service to others, in service to the world, in your business, in projects, in building a family together. You might express your mission in having individual missions. One counterpart might be doing one thing, another counterpart might be doing another. But in your connection, that in and of itself is your mission, because your mission template is love. And that is what counterparts do together. You experience that unconditional love. And this world is not accustomed to unconditional love. We are conditioned to conditional love, love that has strings attached, right? And so that is what we project onto our relationships, onto our dynamics, onto our experiences. And this ascension journey teaches us to release that, to release those projections, to release those conditionings, to release that control, to allow ourselves to sink into who we truly are. And who we truly are is unconditional love. And when you experience that within your relationship, within your connection, whether that's energetic or physical, remember, energetic comes before the physical. So we're not saying really either or. We're saying you might experience that energetically first, and then you'll experience that in a physical relationship, in a physical connection. But whether you're experiencing that in either direction now, wherever you are presently, it's still a more conscious understanding of the journey, a more conscious view of the journey. And I feel like with June energy, June is opening up another doorway to anchor in that next level of consciousness. I feel like the divine masculines especially have been going through a process of their ascension where they're anchoring in their inner union. And divine feminines, as they're anchoring in their inner union, you're anchoring in your embodiment. You're embodying that inner union, and that embodiment of the inner union holds space for the masculines and their inner union process. So without going into too deep into that, let's see where everybody is right now. So remember, this is a collective reading. Take it as it resonates for you and your journey right now. But let's see what's going on with the divine masculine right now. What's going on with the divine masculine currently? Oh, this is awesome. Deserving. We're going to get into that energy because there's a very layered message there. Divine feminine, where are you? Increase. And what's going on for the sacred union, please? What's going on for the sacred union? Back and forth. Okay. So this is where I have joyous fun and new beginnings and transformation at the bottom of the deck. And also courage. And the sacred temple. So I'm just gonna point these out because this energy, sacred temple, courage, transformation, new beginnings, joyous fun, this energy all comes into play here. So think about those keywords for a moment. Pay attention to those keywords for a moment because I feel like that's all going to have an effect here on the energies that we're receiving. I'm going to talk about the union energies for a minute before we get into the individual energies. The union energies of this back and forth, that might be part of the initiation that many are experiencing, especially if you're experiencing tower moments. Even if you've experienced that tower moment in the past, like I said, I channeled that for a small group of, or small segment of counterparts back in March. There might still be some anchoring in of the embodiment, the consciousness shift that you experienced from that. That's what the tower moment initiation is all about. It's about the embodiment. It's about shifting in consciousness. That's the breakthrough that comes from the tower, right? So many of you might be experiencing something in your physical reality that might make you question yourself, might make you question your counterpart, or might make you question the journey, or all three. And so you're really called to tune into your heart space. What is real within your heart space? It doesn't mean that the physical reality isn't happening, but also remember that there's always more than meets the eye. There's always more going on underneath the surface than what we can visibly see in our physical evidence. And so we can't take our physical world or the physical evidence at face value anymore. That's what our ascension journey teaches us. It teaches us to look at things from all perspectives, and also from a higher perspective, from the soul's perspective, not just from the human perspective of this is what's happening, this is what my counterpart's doing, this is my experience. We have to look at all things. That's what the ascension journey really shows us. And so you might be going a little bit back and forth with that perspective. And it's okay. Allow for that. Have compassion and patience with that process because it is a process. It is a consciousness shift. And consciousness shifts don't happen like that, lickety split. Consciousness shifts happen as an evolution, as a process. And so you might be feeling a little bit of that wibble-wobble energy. But it's okay again. Allow for that. Tune into your intuition. Allow for that trust in your intuition. Because I feel like there's going to be more balance that's coming in for you, perhaps especially in June. With that open door energy that's coming through. They're reminding me that we just had the alignment. On June 3rd, there were 6 planets that were in alignment. And that's really indicative of where we are metaphorically coming into alignment, coming into true alignment. I'm also hearing the word pure alignment. So coming into pure alignment. And so we might be experiencing some of the wibble wobbles as we anchor into that, but there's more balance and more harmony that we're going to be experiencing. So don't let those old stories create so many hiccups. Don't let those old stories and that old version of you hold you to the past. Anchor into the present as best as you can, and know that from the present you are actually creating new energetic futures, new energetic timelines. You're creating new for yourself, more for yourself. And every single moment, that's where your present is your point of power. Every single moment you have a new choice. You can choose the past, or you can choose to continue to anchor in and embody new beliefs, new choices, new decisions, new versions, and even new self-concept is what I'm hearing. New identity for yourself. And I'm not talking about new identity as far as like going out and getting a new license and changing your name and stuff like that. That's all the human stuff. I'm talking about energetically, how you view yourself, how you think about yourself. That's what embodiment is, because you're embodying your authentic soul self now. And anything that wasn't aligned to that, that's got to go. Anything that wasn't aligned to that, that's what you're releasing. You're releasing those old stories about who you are to really understand who you are. You're understanding, I'm not that old template of pain and wounding and who people thought I was and who I believed I was because of who people said I was or who society wanted me to be. That's part of our shadow work, and part of our shadow work is also belief work, right? That's the next level of shadow work. It's belief work and shifting those beliefs about ourselves that we once believed because we were taught to believe them. Who are you really? And what's interesting to me is they're having him look towards the divine masculine. And I feel like this is really picking, I feel like this is why we wanted to talk about the union energies first, because they're really looking at the divine masculine energy for this. We have the card that's deserving. I feel like this is what the divine masculine is really anchoring in. It's deserving, worth. Divine feminines, you might be experiencing this as well. For myself, I'm really embodying new levels of worth and rewriting old programs. Let me tell you guys, this Kickstarter campaign has really been a beautiful exploration for me, a beautiful experiment for me of my own inner journey. Because in the past, I would have just been beside myself. I would have been, am I giving enough? Am I doing enough? Am I supportive enough of my community? That's something that's always been a responsibility for me. That's always weighed heavily on me, feeling very responsible for the work that I do, and including the work that I give out. And but with this Kickstarter, it allowed me to say, I can see the value that I provide because of the transformation that others are going through and that others share with me, that you guys share with me. That's why I feel so very honored to do the work that I do. And I feel so grateful for all of you because I get something out of it too. I am doing my healing right along with you guys. I'm doing my growth work, my evolution right along with you guys. It's been that way from the very beginning. When I teach, I'm teaching from my experience. When I do readings, it's coming from my experience. And I'm learning. I always watch back my own readings because when I'm channeling, I don't remember what the hell I'm saying because I'm channeling, but I always watch back my own readings and I get something out of it too. So I feel incredibly grateful. And when I say my own readings, I mean the collective readings. And I do client readings, those are for you. But I feel incredibly grateful because I'm able to see how I'm evolving and how I'm growing and how I'm transforming too. And this Kickstarter experiment was showing me how I haven't always viewed myself as worthy, how my whole life, I never viewed myself as special. Um, and anytime anybody said otherwise, it was really hard for me to believe it. It was always really hard for me to take a compliment. And now to be able to tap into that and receive that with a hearty dose of humility, with a hearty dose of modesty, is something that's altogether new for me. And it's still really uncomfortable, but I'm working through that discomfort. I feel like divine feminines, you might be going through that as well and embodying that worth, or at least different levels of self concept around that. It might be deserving of opportunities, it might be deserving of love and relationships, it might be deserving of, job, finances. Whatever that might be, it might be worth, it might be tied to value, it might be tied to feeling special. It might resonate for you in a number of different ways. But you're embodying now. When I say embodying, I mean it's not just knowing something consciously, it is feeling it and acting in it. It's walking the walk of it, right? That's what embodiment is all about. I feel like the divine masculines are beginning to consciously, they might not be in the embodiment phase yet, but I feel like they are consciously beginning to recognize their worth, how they're deserving, how they're special. Now, I also feel like they are seeing this within the divine feminine as well. They're seeing her in a new light, and that's been part of this process we've been channeling for the divine masculines, part of the illumination we've been channeling for the past several weeks. Is it feels like they are looking at the divine feminine, um, not as intimidating, perhaps not as putting her on a pedestal, not as feeling like they're unworthy of her in some way, but they're recognizing wanting to be her equal, wanting to be her partner, wanting to be her counterpart, and intuitively knowing on some level that they already are. Divine feminines, you have always seen the soul of the divine masculine. You have always seen their beauty. You have always seen their light. You have always seen their gifts. You have always seen their wisdom. You saw that in them from the very beginning. And then the triggers and your journey, the physical stuff might have gotten in the way. You might have experience some stuff that made you question, that made you doubt. But when you come back to your heart space, you still always see the divine masculine as the divine masculine. They might have or act in their distorted templates or in their wounded nature. They might act or behave in ways that are not healthy, but you've always seen the soul beneath the surface of that. It's just the behaviors, it's just the way that they're acting, it's just the surface level stuff that you're not engaging with or that you're not accepting. When I say you're not accepting, I mean not engaging with, that you're not going to tolerate anymore, that you're not going to allow anymore in your life, in your energy field, because that's how much you have shifted. That's how much you know your worth now. That's how much you know you're deserving. You know you're deserving of relationship counterparts, whether energetic or otherwise, people who are respectful, people who are committed, people who are I don't know, what are some other wounds that we carry in this journey? Loyal, people who are believe in us, people who are not holding themselves back, people who are not carrying masks. Gosh, what else do clients experience? Just not in the wounded way, not in the distorted way, right? We know what those distorted masculine and feminine templates are, right? So you know that you're deserving because you've gone through your own ascension, you've gone through your healing, you've gone through your journey, you know what you're deserving of. And now that you're embodying that energy, you're not allowing anything into your energy field that is not a match to that. That is not a match to what you know that you deserve, because you're claiming that energy, because you've claimed your own energy. Do you see how that works? You've claimed your own energy. And so anything that is of a lower frequency, that is not on that level, is not engaged with. Now, we're not talking about ego here. We're talking about energy. We're not talking about less than. We're not talking about superiority. We're not talking about inferiority. We're not talking about levels as far as, oh, you're not in my level, so I can't engage with you, so I can't have a conversation with you. Like, we're not talking about that at all. We're talking about energetics, right? Where you can feel that somebody is good for you because they light you up, because it expands you, because you grow, because it's the energy of love underneath, right? And not just romantic love, but love as a whole. You can feel the soul of it. You can feel the sacredness of it. That's what we're inviting in now. And anything that is not in that energy is really just going to kind of fade away. It doesn't mean that you won't have interactions, but that's where you hold that energy of compassion, because everybody's where they need to be on their journey. Everybody's going through their own ascension process, and we don't look at it as competition. We don't ever look at it as better or worse than. We don't ever look at it as, again, superiority or inferiority. We hold the space for where other people are, while understanding that we don't have to engage in toxic behaviors. We don't have to engage in unhealthy exchanges or unhealthy communication anymore. We don't have to engage in that energy anymore. So I feel like the divine feminine is experiencing this increase in her energy, an increase in her life, in her abundance, and the divine masculine is recognizing through her embodiment, recognizing that, hey, I'm deserving too. And it's not, again, a competition between the two where it might have been, there might have been some division between the two. It is, I'm deserving too. And I can see how my counterpart has grown. I can see how my counterpart has expanded. And I can see how I've been expanding too. You've been doing this together. But I feel like the divine masculine is really recognizing that they're worthy of love too. They're worthy of what the divine feminine has always seen in them. They're worthy of this connection that the divine feminine has been holding space for. The divine masculine was kind of running from the connection because they didn't believe that they were worthy of it. Now, I'm going to say something and only take it as it resonates because it's kind of a higher level aspect of this, a soul's aspect of this. Understand that as twin flames, divine counterparts, sacred partners, whatever label you want to apply to this, as counterparts, you are one. And so you might look at it like the divine masculine is running from the connection and the divine feminine is holding space, which is what she's doing on the surface. But there's another level underneath that, the soul's level, the soul's perspective underneath that. What is actually happening is the divine masculine is holding the space for the divine feminine too. Because as he's running away, as he's doing whatever he's doing in the connection, it's actually helping the divine feminine to level up, helping the divine feminine to grow. The hallmark of these connections is soul growth. And so as the divine masculine is doing whatever they're doing, it's triggering the divine feminine, but it's triggering her to grow, to expand. And so in that expansion, in that growth, her container to hold space grows greater, it expands. And so she is able to hold space then for the divine masculine and his growth. Do you see how it's this infinite loop? It's this infinite loop. There is no separation. You are always supporting and helping each other. And again, like we were saying in the beginning, the more you anchor into this, the more you anchor into your inner union and begin experiencing this in your outer union with each other, in physical communication, in physical connection, in physical relationship, you will be applying this consciously supporting each other in your growth. And again, the actions, the behaviors that you both were doing unconsciously, you won't be doing that anymore because you're in a new level of consciousness. So you'll be acting more consciously. You won't be acting out of your wounding. All the old behaviors, all the old actions, all the old distorted templates that you were both acting out of at one stage of your journey or another, you won't be doing that anymore. Or at least if you are, you'll be healing that. You'll be shifting that. You'll be changing that because you're in a more conscious mindset. Does that make sense? So I know we kind of just did both masculine and feminine here and the union energies, but it's all tied together. That's what we have to understand. It is all tied together in layers. It's not just one thing or the other. This journey is not just one thing or the other. We can't look at this journey at face value anymore. There is no separation here. Even though we look at the divine masculine, divine feminine, there is no separation. You're doing this always together. Okay, so let's see what's going on some more for each of the individual polarities. For the divine masculine and for the divine feminine. I'm using this deck. It's the Mystic Monday deck. What's it called? Yeah, Mystic Monday deck. I haven't used this in forever, but I got called to it. So we're going to use this for, I think we're going to use this for both counterparts. I mean, I'm not calling to anything else. So what's going on for the divine masculine at this stage? The Fool. Yep. Something's shifting. June is opening up a new beginning, a new doorway. And it's not just a new physical beginning, although it might look physical because the divine masculines, they really partake in their ascension journey in the physical. New jobs, new relationships, new dynamics. And when I'm saying relationships, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships. I'm talking maybe it is new friendships that are, or mentorships, or people who are guiding them along their journey as well. Remember, everybody is here to teach us. Everybody's showing us something about ourselves. So it could be new friendships, it could be new relationships, new different family dynamics, healed family dynamics, or mending family dynamics. Could be soul family. I'm just getting this energy of family too. It could be new jobs, new financial opportunities. But it all feels healthy, conscious. It's not the old way of doing things anymore. So it really feels like, from that conscious awareness, making new choices. It feels like a new beginning. It feels like a new beginning. And consciously, I'm hearing consciously making the choice for that new beginning. Judgment, yep. The Fool and Judgment, this is big energy. It's 2 major arcanas in a row. I would not be surprised if we got another, because this is big energy for June. Again, open doorways. And this is especially for the masculine. June carries a very masculine energy. Maybe not traditionally, but that's the energy that I'm getting. It's a very masculine oriented energy for June. So I feel like the emphasis is on the masculine here, where it feels like a new beginning. For the second chance, the Judgment card is my second chance card. It's my call to rise card. And so we've gotten that over the journey, right? We've gotten second chances, calls to rise, chance to start over. This feels like the union doorway. This feels like, if you want it, it's here. If you want it, step through it. If you want it, make that conscious choice. But where they were holding themselves back because they didn't feel deserving, now that's what's shifting. It's a consciousness shift. Tell me more about the Divine Masculines. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. Yeah, like I said, this is major arcana energy too. It's a minor arcana, but the aces are that new beginning, and it feels big, and that's what this feels like. And what we were saying in the physical, right? And pentacles are all about the tangible, the physical, the material world. So it really feels, I'm getting this energy of claiming, and not claiming in a controlled way, not claiming in a distorted way, claiming in a healthy, conscious way. Claiming as in claiming your energy, claiming who you are, claiming your connection to yourself. You can't control your outside world. You can't control your environment. You can't control your circumstances. You can't control yourself, your choices, how you react to things, the energy that you're in. This Divine Masculine that we're channeling for is having a consciousness shift to really understand that. And that's where their beautiful new beginning comes in. Now, I'm also getting that this might be a little bit of a leap of faith. There might be some fears that are coming up with this new beginning. I'm getting tumble, because they've tumbled in the past. But that's where they have to trust in themselves. Divine Feminines, this might resonate for your inner masculine. So take it as it resonates for you as well. But this might be where you have to trust in the new version of you, and not hold on to the past version of you, Divine Masculine. This is your call to really rise into this next version. Not who you were, but who do you want to be? And claim that, embody that, be that. It is not about being defensive. It's just about knowing who you are so intimately that nothing can shake you. Nothing of the old, the past energy can shake you. No old influences can shake you, because you know who you are now, and you're embracing that. That's the embodiment. And so I feel like there's new. It's just coming in. New. We have the Death card. Yep. King of Cups and the Three of Wands. New. The Death card is because it's this transformation. It's because it's the old. The old is done. It's in the past. Do you want to keep repeating the past? Or do you want to have this new, who you truly are, who you've always been inside, but you never allow that to be seen, is what I'm hearing. Divine Masculines have really hid behind masks, afraid to be seen. And a lot of this is because of conditioning. A lot of this is because of the patriarchy, because of society, right? Because they can't express themselves, or they feel like they can't express themselves, or they don't know how to communicate in ways that are healthy. But that can all be learned. That's all a skill. That all takes practice. Learning how to communicate in healthy, conscious ways. Learning how to to embody yourself, to your true self, to really anchor into your authentic self. That's part of this transformation. And it's about allowing that old version of yourself to be done so that the new version of yourself, who you truly are, can come out. That's what I feel this King of Cups is. This King of Cups feels very much like a self-love energy, like they're just pouring love onto themselves, and so they have love to give. I feel like for this divine masculine, they weren't able to express their love in the way that they want. Remember, this divine masculine is very sensitive. It's a beautifully sensitive energy, beautifully expressive energy, wanting to express love. But again, because of distorted energy, wounding, trauma, conditioning, whatever it was, they were not able to fully express themselves, fully able to communicate that love that they hold within. But there's a lot of love that is here. There's a lot of love that they want to express. They're just figuring out, how can I express that? Because they're trying to figure out, or they are now figuring out, how do I express myself? When you are anchored into expressing your true authentic soul self, you are expressing love. You are expressing your heart. You are expressing everything that's inside of you. And so I feel like this is part of a process for the divine masculine, where they are loving themselves and thus beginning to really anchor into the truth of themselves, having this consciousness shift of, yes, I'm deserving. And because I'm deserving, I can allow those masks to fall, where I had hid myself away because I felt fear, because I felt like I wasn't deserving. Now that I'm beginning to anchor into this worth, now that I'm beginning to anchor into this new version of myself and see myself differently, see myself as my feminine has always seen me, but I wasn't able to see myself, so I pushed that away. Now I'm able to see that I'm able to offer more. I'm able to give more. I'm able to express more. That's what they're giving. They're giving that expression of themselves, which is always what the feminine has wanted. Just wanting the masculine to express the love that she has always seen in them. With the Three of Wands, it is a process that's unfolding. It is a path that they're taking. It is something that is like almost like this energy of on the way. It's on the way. So this energy is, even though it's current, it is an unfolding process that they are now beginning to understand, anchor into, illuminate, and integrate. So it might not be happening all at once now. It's a process. It is on the way, and they're figuring it out. They're figuring it out. It's gorgeous energy for the masculine. Divine feminine. What do we have for the divine feminine? We have Six of Wands. It's Six of Wands energy. See how she has her hands in the air? She's kind of going like, we. She's like, it's almost like what I'm seeing is this is like a slide, and she's like, she has her hands up in the air. Oh, what they're just telling me is surrender. It's surrender. She has her hands in the air and surrender, and she's just kind of like going along the slide. That's what this energy feels like. It feels like, there's a victory in surrender. There's a success in your surrender. There's a success in allowing yourself to let go and go with the flow, being carried by the universe. Allowing yourself to experience almost like this energy of joy, this energy of effervescence, this energy of let's see what happens. But it's this energy of faith and trust in what happens and the unfolding of that. It doesn't feel like there's fear here. It doesn't feel like there's anxiety here. You might feel a little bit of uncertainty. You might feel some back and forth. You might feel a little bit of anxiety pick up here and there, but you're able to easily transmute it because you're in this energy of we surrender. You've got me, universe, and I've got me, and I trust where we're headed together because we're creating together. You're creating with the universe. The universe is not separate from you. You are part of the universe. And so when we say that you're creating with the universe, you are the universe creating itself in that light. You're writing your own story, and you're really claiming that energy now. And I feel like this is you. That's just, it's not passive energy. They want to make that clear. This energy of surrender is not passive. This energy is a creation energy, recognizing your power to create and actively create in that sense too. By trusting your intuition, by trusting the universe, by trusting your inner guidance. That's where this victory is coming through. That's where this increases, because you have increased your capacity for faith. You've increased your capacity for trust. You've ended a cycle is also what I'm hearing, and begun a new one. What else is going on for the divine feminine here? justice, balance. Where you might be or have been experiencing some wibble wobbles in your union energies, your own journey, divine feminines, you're reaching a state of balance. So your union is not separate from yourself. Let's make that clear. Your union is part of you and always will be part of you. It always has been part of you. So when I'm saying reaching a state of balance within yourself, and you might be experiencing wibbly wobblies within your union, it's not that it's separate. It's just that you might be looking at your union as wibbly wobbly. You might still be trying to balance the union aspect of it all out. What I mean by that is your physical connection out. You might be experiencing some back and forth energies of, do I trust this? Do I not? Questioning yourself, questioning the physical evidence that you're seeing versus what you know within. But what you know within is really anchoring in here. And when it comes to your own journey, your own life, I feel like you have this sense of peace, you have this sense of balance. I'm also hearing that wrongs being righted, by which I mean it's like where things were upturned, it feels like, okay, so what they're saying is where things felt like things got upturned 180 degrees, like your life, how do I say this? Like your life got thrown into upheaval. And I'm not talking about recently. I'm talking about like, we talked about this 6 months ago, a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. Your life did a 180 all of a sudden, right? Those wrongs are being righted. Justice is coming in. The universe is making it right again. It's coming back around. That's the cycle that you're ending. There was something that you learned from that. There was expansion. There was growth from that. And I feel like it's coming back around again. That message is very interesting to me because we've been channeling that when it comes to union energies for years now, that your union is going to feel like you're coming back to the beginning, but with a new level of consciousness, a new level of understanding. It's like a second chance. When you're activated to your ascension, initially, when you first meet your counterpart and you're activated and you're catalyzed to this journey, there's harmony, there's peace, there's unconditional love. You see the soul of each other. That's the love. That's that magic bubble, that honeymoon phase that you go into. It's because it's the love that you actually are feeling, that you're actually connecting with. But then the triggers start because your ascension journey starts. And your ascension journey is clearing out all those blocks to love. Anything that's still in your system, anything that's still in your energy field, anything that's still unconscious, anything that's still a held belief, that is a block to love. And you and your counterpart clear that energy together through triggering each other, but you're still in an unconscious state of that. Divine Feminines, you have a little bit of an idea because of your awareness of the journey itself, of the twin flame experience itself. You have a little bit of an idea of this, but you still have to go through the experience itself. You still have to go through the process of it, right? So that's where the journey creates tension. That's where it creates friction. That's where it creates upheaval and confusion. Because it's like, well, I'm experiencing all this love, so why is this happening? Why is this trigger happening, etc.? It's because you're clearing the unconscious and becoming conscious. And now that we're in that higher heart ascension, you have released one phase of your journey, a major phase of your journey. I don't want to put that lightly, gone through cycles after cycles after cycles, and completed that twin flame phase of the journey. What I call the twin flame phase of the journey is the triggers, the friction, all that stuff, to move into the higher heart ascension. That higher heart ascension is what I call the twin soul. Could be the same counterpart, could be a different counterpart. Depends on what your journey is. I don't want you to trigger you. You can check out the soulmate path reading. You can read the book for more about that. It is just the higher level of connection. It's a conscious connection now. And so going back to the beginning means that you are experiencing that love, that unity that you felt with your counterpart, but now from a conscious state, so you don't have to go through the triggers again. You don't have to go through the friction again. You don't have to go through the confusion again. And you won't. You won't. Ascension means you won't. Consciousness shifts mean that you won't. You can't. You've already cleared it. You've done the healing work. You're going to continue to heal, but you've done that healing work that you did. You've gone through the journey. And so new conscious beginning. That's what this energy feels like. So where it was upturned 180 degrees, it was because there was something to grow, something to expand, something to learn, something to experience to bring you to this point where now it's like the justice energy is karma is writing itself, and you are surrendered to that. You're surrendered to the unfolding of that. You're surrendered and anchored into the faith and the trust of that. This is the embodiment that we've been channeling. It's all about embodiment. You can consciously know something, you can intellectually know something, but that doesn't mean anything unless it's embodied. And that's the point of spirituality. Spirituality is not just having a conscious understanding of concepts. It is about anchoring in to the feeling of it, anchoring into the embodiment of it, putting it into practice, walking the walk. And that's where we are the bridge. That's where we can't negate our human aspect. That's where we can go into one extreme or the other, right? It's too much of the spiritual and we're ungrounded. And we get into spiritual ego. Too much in the human and we lose sight of the connection with our spiritual nature. We are the bridge. We are the middle way. That's what your ascension teaches you, that you're the middle way. And it's the balance between the two. You anchor your spirituality into your human embodiment. That's what it's all about. All right. What else do we need to know for the divine feminines? What's going on for the divine feminines? Let's get a couple more cards here, a couple more messages. The Magician, yeah. Just like we've been channeling, you are the creator of your experience. Your experience. And everybody's the creator of their experience. But so it's not negating other people, but it's you recognizing that you, again, can't control other people, can't control environments, can't control circumstances to the extent, but you can control yourself. You are the creator of yourself, and thus you're the creator of your own story. So as you are anchoring in to your energy, your self-concept, your beliefs about yourself, that's what creates your physical world and your physical experiences. So if you don't want to experience something, if something's really heavy and troublesome, look at the lessons behind that. Look at the energy behind that. What energy is being held? That's where you are the magician. And everybody is a magician in their own lives. It's whether or not you're conscious of it that is the most important aspect. Most people in the world right now are creating unconsciously. It's the energy that they're holding that they're not aware of. The more you're aware of the energy, the vibration, the frequency that you're in, the more you're consciously creating from higher levels of frequency, higher levels of vibration, higher levels of consciousness. And again, I want to be very clear that everybody's where they need to be on their journey. It's not our job to wake other people up. It's just our job to hold the space for them, plant seeds, and be that leadership by example, to be that embodied version of ourselves. That's our only job, is to be that love. Eight of Cups. Yeah. This Eight of Cups feels like allowing yourself to release the past so that you can create your future, consciously create what it is that you want. Releasing old versions of beliefs, old versions of yourself, old versions of stories, so that you can allow yourself to move into the new. Because what comes after the 8 is the 9 and the 10 of Cups. The 9 and the 10 of Cups are wishes fulfilled, happiness, joy, manifestations, like everything that you want. And in the last reading, we talked about how your manifestations are coming organically now. It's not because you have to put into practice with vision boards or scripting or journaling. Use those if they are still helpful. But the more you embody, the more you consciously create in a much more natural and organic way. It's just because of your frequency. It's just because of your energy. Your energy is what is naturally going to manifest your reality. It's what you're holding in your heart that's going to naturally create and manifest your reality. So put it into practice if you still need those things. For myself, at the beginning of every year now, what I do is I make a list of all the things that I want. Last year, in January, I listed that I really wanted to go on my spiritual pilgrimage, and all of a sudden, a couple months later, my friend is saying, come join me in England, stay with me, and we'll go together to France. And all of a sudden, in September, I'm in Europe for my 40th birthday having my spiritual pilgrimage. Had no idea that desire that I had written down was going to manifest. But it manifested organically. I didn't have to look at my vision board every day. I don't have a vision board, but I didn't have to look at it every day. I even forgot about the journal until I went back and reviewed it at the end of this past year. This past January, I went back and reviewed it because I was getting ready to write my new ones, and I was checking off boxes of everything that I had manifested. It just happens organically. It just happens naturally because you're releasing the expectation of it happening. You're releasing the unconscious limitations that you have. You're really recognizing, hey, I don't have to do as I don't have to be so hard ass when it comes to the work. It's my energy that creates this. It's my self-concept that creates this. It's my frequency that creates this. It's my just holding the desire that creates this. So release any blocks to those desires. Release any of the old templates of the old stories that you're still holding on to. I'm still doing that. Like I said, the Kickstarter was a huge experiment for me for where I still have blocks, where I'm still holding on to old stories, where I'm still, repeating old stories. And the more that I'm aware of that, the more I'm able to release those and let them go and rewrite new ones. So this is where you're that magician. This is where you're the conscious creator. And so Divine Feminines recognize too that everybody is a creator of their own life. It's just whether or not you're conscious of it or they're conscious of it. Okay, Divine Feminine, anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know for the Divine Feminine? The Princess of Pentacles. I want to do something else. And the Princess of Cups. So I feel like this is seeding new beginnings here. With the Princess of Pentacles, the Princess of Cups, this is seeding new beginnings. New beginnings and ideas with the Princess of Cups. You might be getting new downloads is also what I'm hearing. New upgrades. When I say downloads, I mean like ideas. I'm getting like inspiration, that kind of energy. Inspiration, ideas for opportunities, inspiration, ideas for action to take, inspiration, ideas for ways to move forward. That's all the energy of the Princess of Pentacles and the Princess of Cups. It's new opportunities coming in, new experiences coming in, maybe because of new ideas, new nudges, new intuitive nudges is what this energy is. So walking away from the old so the new can come in. All right. I was going to pull a different deck, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to see how are you feeling about each other. I want to see how the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine is seeing about each other. I want to point out that I was going to do this either later or tomorrow. I was literally cutting an apple for breakfast, and Spirit was like, go. Go do this reading. The energy was just there, so I'm glad that we're doing it now. It feels very powerful. Divine Masculine, how are you feeling about your Divine counterpart right now? How are you feeling about your Divine Feminine? Divine Masculine, how are you feeling about your Divine Feminine right now? Yep, I am not surprised to see this. So the spark, Divine Masculine, this is part of the consciousness shift that they're going through, right? And this is why I said it's a process, and it might not be happening all at once now. So it's not like, oh my gosh, we did this reading and this is the current energy, so this is what they're experiencing right now. This is a process. So they're recognizing the connection with the spark energy. They're recognizing your the love I'm hearing with you, their counterpart, the Divine Feminine. They're recognizing this, and it might be lighting up again. The spark might be renewing for them, the love that they have for you. But there's still some confusion around this. I feel like the confusion, what I'm hearing, is more along the lines of what action do I take? What steps do I take? I'm feeling this love. I feel the connection again. Or maybe even for the first time, I'm recognizing the connection for what it actually is versus what I thought it was or what I was afraid it could be. What action do I actually take here? That's what I feel like they're a little bit confused about. They're confused as far as what to do. And that's really indicative, too, of masculine energy, because masculine energy is active. They're doing. They're the ones that take those active physical steps. So they might be a little bit confused as what is it that I do? I don't know what steps to take. It might be, bring it down to the physical 3D, it might be they're confused as far as how to initiate conversation. They might be confused as far as how to communicate. Do I call? Do I write? Do I set up a date? Do I meet them? They might be confused as far as physical action to take. Um, but they do know that this spark is with you. They're feeling the spark within you. I'm also hearing this is a spark within themselves, so they might be a little bit confused as far as what action do I take within my own life. But remember that it's always connected. It's interconnected. That's what I mean by this is a very layered journey. Everything is interconnected on a number of different layers. So as they might feel that spark within their own life too, but as they feel that spark within their own life, within their own self again, feeling worth, feeling deserving of it now, feeling deserving of their own love, feeling deserving of life, where they might not have felt deserving of life before. Life might have really kind of sucked them into like a lower vibrational energy, really dense, heavy energy, where life might have actually sucked. But now they're feeling deserving, they're feeling worthy, they're getting that spark of renewal back for their life, for themselves. That has a connection to you too, Divine Feminines. They might be a little bit confused as far as what action do I take there too? Do I get a new job? Do I stay at my job but ask for a price increase, or what is it called, a raise? Do I move? Do I I don't know, a number of different scenarios. Do I take care of my health better? Do I go to counseling or therapy to do more healing, to mend connections? Do I, whatever the scenario is, there's, everybody's situation is going to look a little bit different. But they might be confused as far as what action do I take now. But they're feeling that renewal. They're feeling that spark. So that's amazing energy. That's beautiful energy. That's what we want for each other. That's what we want for everybody in the world, right? We want them to feel that passion for life, to feel that worth, feel that love within themselves, and feel that ability to have that level of self-empowerment where they say, I can make a new choice. I can make a difference in my life. I can be who I really want to be, who I've always wanted to be, and I can start taking the steps to get there. That's what we want from people in the world. That's why we do the work that we do, is because it's all about that self-empowerment. You have the courage and the strength to do it, to be the creator of your life. It might take steps. You might not be able to go from A to Z immediately, but there's a joy, there's a beauty in the unfolding and all the stops and all the steps along the way. Don't forget that either. Don't forget the joy in the unfolding. Don't forget the beauty in the unfolding. Don't forget the beauty in the present. That's where you create intimacy with each other. If this is a relationship, you don't have to go from A to Z. There's a beauty in building the foundation together. There's a beauty in building intimacy with each other, in building that vulnerability and communication with each other. There's a beauty in that. There's a beauty in creating. So, okay, what is the Divine Feminine want to say? How's the Divine Feminine feeling? How's the Divine Feminine feeling? I really intended this to be a mini check-in, but I guess we're not doing that. What's going on for the Divine Feminine? Divine Feminine, I feel like she's feeling the Divine Masculine's energy. I feel maybe not as viscerally or tangibly as she might have in the past. I feel like the Divine Feminine might be very self-focused right now, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Focused on your life, focused on projects, focused on your work, your family, whatever it is. You're focused on yourself. You feel your counterpart with you always. That's part of your union. They're just there. But they're not obsessively at the forefront of your thoughts. That's the difference. That's what you unhooked from that twin flame aspect of the journey, right? Where you are in your higher heart ascension is the inner union. You recognize that your counterpart's always with you, always part of you. And you feel them always as part of your energy, but it doesn't feel as how do I say this? It doesn't feel as phenomenal as it did because it's more natural now. It's just a natural part of you. They're just a natural part of you. That love is just a natural part of you. So when I say that you're feeling your counterpart, I feel like you're really just feeling the love and embracing that love. embracing that love from them, embracing that love for them, and just letting it be part of your everyday experience, just part of your life now. There's also this element of passion that I'm getting. You might, if the divine masculine is feeling this passion for the divine feminine, this renewal of passion for the divine feminine, you might be feeling that energy as well. Again, it doesn't feel as, it doesn't feel as stark as it might have in the past, as whoa, what is this? You know, if you're feeling like in the sacral chakra, you might be feeling that sexual energy. It doesn't feel as like, whoa, what is that? It's my divine masculine. Wait a minute. You know, it's not like that anymore. It's very natural. It's just a natural embodied energy. That's this balance. You're feeling the balance. You're feeling your union. Lean into that union. Lean into the energy of that. That is what your embodiment is. That's what your embodied union is all about. It's about feeling the connection, feeling the love, the warmth, the tenderness, the trust, the unconditional love that you have for each other, the harmony in your inner union. So I feel like you're feeling your union. You're feeling your masculine in that union. And you might not be seeing that. It's okay. In the physical, tune into the energetics of it. The energetics is how you create the physical. So allow yourself, for example, to tune into, what do I want from a connection? What do I want from a physical relationship? I'm loved. I'm respected. I'm honored. I'm cherished. I am in this state of balance and peace with each other. I'm shown affection. We have this healthy communication. You know, start feeling into the energy of the connection of what you want in the physical, but feel into that now. Feel into the energy of it now, because that's how you create it. Okay? All right, we're going to get, what are we going to get? We're going to get one card of guidance. I'm going to use the Monology deck here, because we just had that planetary alignment. So what guidance do we have just for the union energies? I just want to get an overall energy of guidance to end the reading. Energy of guidance to end the reading. Adjustments are required. This might be the wibble wobbles. Keep anchoring in. Keep integrating the energy. That's the adjustment. Anytime something unconscious comes up, make it conscious. Make new choices. Make the shift. Allow yourself to shift. That's what it's all about here. As well as holding your vision, and a new romantic cycle begins. Have faith in those dreams. All right, you guys, let me know in the comments how this resonated. Make sure to back the book if you are interested in getting a pre-release copy of the Unity Code over on Kickstarter. Link is in the description box. I'm sending you all so much love, so much light, and we'll be back soon with another reading.